Good. So sit up tall and come to your breath. Every day is a new opportunity, a new fresh page, if we're given it, right? To make good choices or better choices. And baked into all that situation, all of our humanness is what we might consider a level of maybe failing. But there is such a thing as failing better. Find the rhythm of your breath. Big inhales, expanding your lungs to their fullest capacity. And then exhale all the way to your pelvic floor. Draw your belly slightly back so you feel the expansiveness in your low ribs, the middle ribs, all the way up to your collarbones. It's a big, full breath. Yes, empowering we are, empowered we are. And then exhale. Draw the bottom of your shoulder blades down so you're really sitting tall. It's in this kind of space that we make our best choices. Right? Even if it's to go to the bakery and knowing that you're doing something that maybe is not the best thing for you. That comes under the heading of you only live once, right guys? Then slowly open your eyes. It's hard to find that balance sometimes. Take your arms to T. Yeah, and just let's make some big circles with our arms forward and back. Inhale and exhale, starting to move with the breath. It's part of the point of beginning like this. Inhale and exhale, see where the breath goes. Yeah, oh yeah. And then the other way. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Take one more big one with the breath. And then take your elbows behind you. So you're going to pull your elbows back behind you. Draw your shoulder blades down your back, right? Big inhale. And then exhale, you know what to do, round your back. Imagine you're giving yourself a hug. And then inhale, you're going to take care of yourself, right? Exhale, sometimes you need some sweets. And then inhale all the way open. And then exhale. And inhale. Effortful, effortful. See how far you go and notice the sensations in your shoulders. Good. Up, back, and round, back. Last one over your head and back. Oh, yeah. Take your right hand to the floor and reach all the way over, keeping your left hip rounded. Inhale back to center. So we want to avoid old habits. They're called samskaras. We want to go deeper. We don't want to go to where we thought we can go, right? Inhale to center. One more time, right and left. Exhale into it. Inhale back to center. Exhale. Oh, yeah. And inhale all the way up. Take that one twist to the right. Maybe taking your left hand to your right knee, looking over your right shoulder. Good. Oh, yeah. And all the way back to center. Inhale. Exhale the other way, looking over your shoulder and looking to your right. And inhale back to center. And now make your way to table. Have your block nearby, guys. Good. And into some cats and cows. And even though we're going to do other things today, new things always, I always think this is a good idea. You can always take hip circles, guys. Find your way. Yeah. Get into your hips. Come onto your tiptoes. Yeah. Shoulder blades hug together. The bottom of the blades. Good. And take circles the other way. Good. And back to table. Now you can extend your right leg back behind you. Lift your belly, draw the low ribs back, and you're going to tap and lift, and tap and lift. Exhale. Exhale. And with every exhale, you're going to draw your belly back to remember the engagement of the core. 8, 7, 6. With the breath. 5, controlled. Squeeze the glute. 3, squeeze. 2, squeeze. 1, squeeze. And now you're going to step your right foot behind you, same foot. Come to the tiptoes of your right foot and take your right heel back. Really draw it back. Oh, get a nice stretch in the right back of your right leg. Draw the belly back, the low ribs back. And maybe you lift your left foot or shin or your left thigh bone and find a few little pulses. Pulses. So we try to make things different and make new patterns to get out of our old habits, right? Lift, hold it, hold it, hold it, and lower whatever it is you lifted. And then step your right foot directly out to the right and take some hip circles here. Inhale and exhale, good. Good. Then walk your hands back, circle your arms all the way up, lifting up tall. And we're going to do them from the right to the left, exhale to the right, inhale to center, exhale to your left, and either take your block, hover, or land. But you want the right outer ribs lifting you. Exhale. Now the left ribs are going to lift you. And you're going to lengthen on the right as you reach to the left. Inhale. Exhale, reach to the right, but lift the left side of your body, lengthen, and all the way to center. Big inhale. And then you know how to fold forward from the top of the pelvis. Come to the tiptoes of your back left foot. Check it out. And then roll your inner thigh bones back as you sit back right into your hips. And I don't know if you remember, but there are times when this was way harder than it is today. You know, if you practice regularly, it makes a difference. So lift your armpits and soften your head toward the floor, and you'll get a nice stretch as you reach the shoulder blades back down your back and the fascia of your upper back. Big full breath. Good. And then make your way back to center. Now come onto your left forearm. You're going to take your left forearm to the floor. Yeah, like this. And you're going to take your right hand out to the right. And now you're going to take your right leg out to the side and even opening up your hip so that your right knee aims out. And you can lift as high as you like, maybe a little higher. Find that edge. Yeah, this is an invitation. Now, as you exhale, you're going to draw your knee to the elbow. And as you inhale, you're going to reach up. Exhale, you got to do it with the breath and draw the belly back and inhale up. And continue just like this. Exhale. Exhale. Really effortful. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. This is for the medius and your legs. And now come back to taking your hands to the floor. And now you're going to step your right foot forward. So you're going to have a nice long leg here without hyperextending your front knee. Now, if there's a bulge behind your right knee, you might be too hyperextended. So find a little softness in your front knee, guys, your front right knee. Flex your ankle and widen the toes. So you're awake now. You should be feeling stuff right away. Now imagine your right heel is stuck and you're trying to pull it back. Pull it back. Pull it back. Maybe you'll soften your chest. Maybe you'll get a little deeper. You'll see, maybe you'll soften your elbows. Big stretch in the back of your right leg. So coax the right outer hip back, the belly back, and take a few breaths here. This should be kind of edgy. Good. Now step your right foot onto the mat. Good. Take your hands to the floor, and you're going to make your way into your lunge. Okay. So lift and lower your hips. I want you just to see where you are with your hips. Moving with the breath. Now you're going to keep your hips low, low hips. And you're going to lower your left knee so that it doesn't quite land. And you're going to extend the left inner thigh back. So it's the left inner thigh that lowers your left knee, but the inner thigh lifts and extends back to the right ankle, the left ankle. So lower and lift and fire up that left adductor with the breath. Yeah. Now this one I want to do a few more times. So we're going to do it 8 more times. Ready? 8. Let's hear your breath. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're getting right into those legs. So you're going to walk your hands back and start to lengthen both your legs pretty long. But remember the softness in your knees, no hyperextended knees. You might want your hands on your blocks here, or you might want to bend your knees a little more. You'll see. Because what you're going to do is flex your front right ankle and widen your toes and draw the right hip back. Okay, got that? Okay, now this is the movement, guys. You're going to step into your right foot and take the right shin forward, and then you're going to come back to where we started. Onto your foot, forward, and then onto the heel, right hip back. Inhale and exhale. Woo! Inhale and exhale. Can you tell I've been thinking about this? Inhale and exhale. Oh, yeah. Last one, step into your right foot. Lift your left leg all the way up. Release your head and your chest. Exhale, step your left foot beside your right. Forward fold. Take your hands to the front of your ankles. Releasing your head. Shake your head yes and no, guys. And then as you inhale, you're going to slide your hands up the front of your legs and roll the shoulder blades down as you get up there. And then exhale and fold. Oh, yeah. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Last one, exhale down. Yeah. Ooh. And inhale all the way back up. Shoulder blades back. Take your right elbow back. Okay, now I want you to be sure that your shoulders are not up towards your ears. So I want the bottom of your shoulder blades down. Look at all that length in your neck. Right, got that? Right elbow back. So the bottom of the right scapula is hugging towards your spine. Nothing is just lazy or old habits. This is really effortful. Good. Got that, Laura? Good girl. Okay. Now you're going to soften your knees and grab something from your outer left foot. But I want you to soften your knees and take your bum back. And then as you inhale, you're going to take your bum forward and your elbow back. So you're going to tone the bum. Ready? I'm going to do that 6 times. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. 4, 3, 2, get into the bum and the core. Last 1, woo, and release. And notice how your right shoulder's back. Standing up tall, release, right shoulder's back and down your back. Left elbow back, no time to mess around, okay? Exhale, inhale, exhale, bum back, inhale, bum forward, exhale, elbow back. It takes a lot of effort to wake up from old habits. If you're gonna go to Looney Bakery, do it mindfully, right? I know what I'm doing and I'm making a decision to do it, right? Okay, 4, 3, 2, 1, last 1. Oh yeah, and release. Inhale, circle your arms all the way up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, look halfway up. Exhale, step back to plank with your knees up or your knees down. So being in plank or forearm plank, or even with your knees down, is the most amazing core work, just about the most amazing core work that you can safely do. So what I want you to do is play in it just a little bit. Come onto the balls of your toes and back. Inhale. Inhale. 5, 4, 3, 2. Can you smile? And then lower your knees. Press your knees down to lift your bum. And then you're going to lower your chest and your chin. Now, I want you to take your pelvis to the floor and slide your chest forward as you take your forearms to the floor in front of you. So today, I want your elbows slightly forward of your shoulders for this first one. And make sure your toenails are on the floor. This is for your low back, believe it or not. So you're going to press your fingerprints down, and as you inhale, you're going to lift your elbows. And as you exhale, you're going to lower down. Now, I'm going to move my hands back to get a little bit more and exhale. But all of you know what's right for you. Lift and lower. Notice how nothing is done mindlessly. Inhale and exhale. And you know what? We savor life better that way when we're mindful. Inhale, exhale. Let's take one more just like that. Inhale. Hold it, hold it, hold it. Oh, yeah. Then lower all the way back down. Curl your toes under, shoulder blades back, and make your way right into a dog or through table or into table if that's where you're at. And walk your dog. Oh, yeah. And notice your breath. Oh my God, this is so much fun. In case you didn't know. Okay. Then lower your knees back to the floor and extend your left leg back behind you as I make a wardrobe adjustment. Left leg back, guys. Good. Now, lower and tap with your breath. Inhale, lift, exhale, tap. Lift and tap. Lift and tap. Squeeze the left glute. Take the left knee, aim your left knee toward the floor. Low ribs back, belly back. Yeah, you should feel a nice toasting in the left glute pretty quick. 8, that's the left bum. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice. Now take your left tiptoes to the floor behind you and take your left heel back, getting a huge stretch in the back of your left leg. And make sure your ribs are not dumped toward the floor. Notice what it does to your low back. Draw the low ribs back. Take the tip of your pelvis and tip it up toward the ceiling, and you'll get nice engagement in the core. Then lift your right foot for your shin or your right knee. And just find a little pulse whatever you decide to lift. Exhale. Good. Hold it, hold it, hold it. Belly back, top of the pelvis back. Yeah. And then lower your right, whatever you lifted. Take your left leg out to the left and take some hip circles. So your left leg's out to the left, hip circles. Good, you guys have all done this before. Good. Now, walk your hands back. Circle your arms all the way up. Lifting up tall. And then take your left hand down your left leg. Oh, reach over. Inhale back to center. Exhale to the right. And you know what to do. Either grab your block or not. Inhale to center. So I don't want you using any momentum. It's mindfully lifting the right ribs when you're at your left. And when you go to your left, it's the left side of your waist that lifts you up with your core. And we're going to take 2 more on each side. Good. Last one. Yeah. Good. And all the way to center, lifting up tall. Now, tip from the top of your pelvis and take your hands to the floor. Come to the tiptoes of your back right foot, check her out. And just take maybe some circles with your hips as you slowly make your way with your right hip. Your right sit bone towards your right heel towards. Doesn't mean it has to be on it. Lift your armpits, soften your chest. And take a few breaths of intention here. Try again, fail again, and fail better. Yes, love it. And then come all the way back to center. Then extend your left leg in front of you. This is Ardha Hanuman, the monkey god who flew to Sri Lanka. So you're going to lift your left ankle and widen your toes. Imagine the left hip is pulling the left heel back and it's stuck, and you should feel lots of stuff in the back of your left inner thigh. Yeah. And you can soften your chest a little more to get deeper. Notice the edge. Notice the difference between an old habit, what you think you know, and the true reality of where your edge is. So get over the fear and see if you can step into it just a little bit more. These are the things you take into your life, whether you realize it or not. Good. Then come all the way up and step your left foot to the mat. Take your hands to your blocks or to the floor and make your way into a lunge by lifting the back right knee. And then lift and lower your hips. Yeah. Not so hard. Good. Now stay in the lunge, and you're just going to lower your right knee toward the floor, and then extend the right inner thigh back. Lower and extend. From the right inseam, the right inner thigh, the right adductor, with the breath. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh yeah. Extend. Now you're going to walk your hands back and step on both feet and lengthen your legs just enough that they're long without being hyperextended. And now you're going to flex your front left ankle and widen your toes. You might want to block under your hands. Okay, ready? Take the left hip back. Now you're going to step into your left foot and come forward, and then lengthen your legs and take the left hip back. And inhale. And exhale. And inhale. And exhale. Ooh, yeah. Let's take one more just like that. Then step into your left foot. Lift your right leg all the way up, releasing your head your chest. And step your right foot beside your left, forward fold. Inhale, circle your arms all the way up. Exhale, palms together to your heart center and release. Okay, now we're warmed up and I want you all to grab your block. And I want you to put your block in between your upper thighs and squeeze it. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. And you should feel the pelvic floor lifting and even the lowest part of your core engaged. You want to squeeze it like you want it to, really squeeze it, right? Okay, so you're going to take your shins forward and your bum back, but you're squeezing the damn block, right? Now you can take your arms behind you. You can take your hands beside you, but I want you to just kind of come onto the tiptoes of your right foot and then to the left. I almost feel the music from the Pink Panther. Do-do-do-do. Remember that? So squeeze and then tiptoe right and left. Moving with the breath and keeping the belly engaged. Okay? Very nice. Now, I want you to come onto the tiptoes of both your feet and notice how you can get more balance when you squeeze to the midline and maybe you can even circle your arms up here. Shins forward, your bum is back. Just give it a go. Feel free to fall out of it. How far are you going to go, right? And then come all the way to center. Lifting up tall. Good. Fold forward. Squeeze in the block. Inhale, look halfway up. Squeeze the block and roll your inner thigh bones back. You might even feel the block roll back. Inhale, look halfway up again. Now you're going to step back into plank. Yeah, you want me to what? All right, so your knees can be up or down, but you're squeezing the block. Just being with that block is enough to wake everything up and make your way to dog. And inhale to plank, squeeze it, and exhale to dog. Squeeze it, inhale. Now roll your inner thigh bones back as if you want to roll the block behind you like a Pez dispenser. Oh yeah. Inhale to plank. Now you're going to lower your knees, your chest, and your chin. Now I don't want you to squeeze so much here because you're going to come onto your forearms once again. Take your elbows slightly back and you're going to lift, but there's not a lot of squeeze in the block here, okay? I don't want you to tone the back right now. And lower. One more time, lift the elbows. Oh yeah. Now lower. Now take your hands back, squeeze the block through table. Squeeze the block, squeeze it. Lift the belly, tip the top of your pelvis back. Notice how that feels in your low back. Now lift your knees and take your hips back and back forward. Squeeze it right into the midline. Squeeze it right into the midline and all the way back into down dog. Good. Keep squeezing the block. Good. Now slowly, you're going to walk your feet to your hands, or your hands to your feet. And you might be surprised at how deep you can get here. Keep squeezing the block. And then inhale, circle your arms all the way up. Squeezing the block. Notice how your outer arm bones are back because the shoulder blades are hugged together at the bottom of the blades. Yeah. Grab your left wrist and lift. Exhale to the right. Oh, squeeze it. Inhale back to center. Grab your right wrist and lift. Exhale to the left. Inhale back to center. And bring your palms together to your heart center. Removing your block, but keeping it nearby because we're going to need it for our next up dog cobra thing. Okay, so now we're going to work as if we have the block. Okay, again, we're going to fail it. Let's try it again. Back to Utkatasana. As if you have the block so you can feel the pelvic floor lift and the core and the belly draw back. Exhale, twist to your right. You can stay upright, or you can take your left elbow outside your right thigh bone. Yeah, just a twist. And if you want, you can always open your arms. You find your way. Everyone's going to do it different, okay? Inhale back to center. Exhale to your left, keeping your right hip back, guys, and open it up. You can stay upright. Inhale back. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, look halfway up. Exhale, step back to plank. Do you believe how many planks we're doing today? Pretty cool. And lower all the way onto your belly. And grab your block. So now you're going to take the block, the width of your block in between your palms. Okay? And you're going to squeeze it, lifting your elbows, shoulder blades back. So your shoulders can come off your back, or you can draw them back down your back. And that's what I want you to do. And then you can lift your chest. Now you're going to take your block in your right hand, take it behind you, put it in your left hand, and come forward. And you can continue just like that. Reach back and forward. And back and forward. One more time to the right. Now we're going to do the other way. Left hand with the block behind you. And then put it in your right. And forward. And left hand. And forward. 2 more times. And left. This is a great party trick too, guys. I'm telling you, most people our age can't even think of doing this. Okay, take the block in front of you and put it down and make your way right into a down dog. Nice. So now your shoulder blades are hugged, the belly's back, your hips are nice and juicy. Now come onto your tiptoes of both your feet. This draws the energy from your feet all the way up into the pelvic floor, into the belly. You're on your tiptoes. Now inhale, lift your right leg up. Stay on the tiptoes of your left foot, and you're going to take 6 squeeze. You're going to squeeze your knee towards your chest. 6, 5. Now you're going to squeeze your bum, but now you're going to have gravity. 3, 2, last one, and lift. And then step your right foot forward, preparing for a lunge. Take your right hand to your right thigh bone. And you're going to press the thigh bone down to lift your left arm up. And notice how you're able to just get nice and steady, but stay low in your hips. And now extend your right arm up and stay low in your hips. Now I want you to pull your elbows down and take the shoulder blades down your back. So the shoulder blades hug together and the shoulder blades are away from your ears. As you exhale, you're going to tip forward and squeeze your forearms together. And then inhale, shoulder blades down. Exhale, belly back. Inhale, shoulder blades down. We're only going to do one more. Stay low. Keep the power in the back, left inseam. And then make your way right into warrior 2. I'm just going to turn around so I can see you. You don't have to turn around. And come into warrior 2 and come out of it just a little. Come deeper, making sure your right toes are forward. Make sure your spine is not coming forward. So imagine there's an imaginary string at the crown of your head, keeping you nice and tall. Now, if you want, you can pull the elbows back. Inhale and exhale, push it out, stay deep. Inhale and exhale. One more time, inhale, exhale. And then take your right forearm to your right thigh, lifting the right ribs and extending your left arm long. Stay low, lift your right ribs and stay low in your hips. And just notice your breath. So good, so good, good. Exhale, gaze down, take your hands to the floor, and make your way back to down dog. Good. If your wrists are bothering you, you can always come onto your forearms. Come onto your tiptoes and lift your left leg up. Left leg. Exhale, squeeze. Inhale, lift. So this is for your core and your glutes. 3, 2, 1. And then step your left foot forward, preparing a lunge. Walk your hands back and take your left hand to your left thigh bone. Press the thigh bone down to lift yourself up. So this is how we draw the energy to the midline and use it to connect. Circle your arms up. Keep your feet hugging to the middle of the mat. Take your elbows to goalposts, shoulder blades down. And then as you exhale, you're going to tip forward, squeeze your forearms. 3, 2, oh yeah, all the way open, all the way squeezed, all the way open, and right into warrior 2. So these warrior poses are great for our hips, guys. So just take your left shin forward, make sure your left toes are aiming directly forward. The left thigh bone is out toward the left, arms to T, long spine. Okay, now, we flex your palms, draw it in, and come deep. Inhale, this is our first time around. We're gonna come back. So, see if you can even stay here mentally. Exhale, inhale, exhale. Take one more. Effortful, effortful. Then take your left forearm to your left thigh, lift the left ribs up, stay low in your hips, and extend your right arm long. Good. Wherever your right arm goes, depending on your shoulder, guys, lift the left ribs. You can feel your core, right? Good. Take your right hand back to the floor and step your right foot forward beside your left. Forward fold. Lift the belly and soften your chest and your head. Press your feet down and circle your arms all the way up and bring your palms together to your heart center and release. Take your hands to your hips and make a few hip circles here. Come back to your breath. Good. Oh yeah. And we're going to do another series, but this time we're not going to do a chaturanga. We're going to do more with the bands, okay? So you're going to soften your knees, shins forward, bum back. Utkatasana. Remember the block. Get that muscle memory of the block, squeezing it in. And find your way into your twist, whatever it looks like, keeping your left hip back, opening up your heart. You decide. Then inhale back to center. And you decide how you're going to go on the left. But keep the left hip back. The right hip back, that is. And all the way to center. Now you're going to take your arms to T or to goalpost. And you're going to lift the right foot. So your left foot is really grounded. Imagine you're hugging the block. So the energy that's hugging to the midline is going to keep you really steady. And if you want, you can extend your right leg back. Now you have to look at something that is not moving. So see if you can do that. There is no rush. So if you fail, fail again. And if you fail again, fail better, right? And then step your right foot back right into warrior 2. Circle your arms up. Good. Now you're going to come and pivot to the back of your mat, so where your right foot is. Warrior 2 to the back of your mat. Over your right foot. Okay? Take your hands behind your back. Interlace your fingers, lift your heart. Exhale and dip. Keep your feet grounded, guys, and imagine they're hugging to the midline. You're hugging that block. You feel it in the adductors. You feel the pelvic floor. Yeah, that's the power you got. Use it. Good. Inhale all the way back up. Exhale your right forearms, your right thigh, lifting the right ribs. You know what to do here. Stay deep in that space. Now we're going to come into triangle pose. So I want you to take your hips back, bum back, and start to lengthen your legs long, but keeping the right ribs lifted You don't have to use any weight on your right hand because the right ribs lift. And you breathe into it. So lovely. Good. Lifting the right ribs. Stay in that triangle. Now, if you want, we can come into half moon. This is really fun. So you might want your block under your right hand. You're going to soften your knees and take your block just outside your right foot and forward and shorten your stance. And maybe you'll lift your left leg up. So with the belly engaged, everything, all the energy hugging to the midline is if you have a block in between your thighs, leaning back. Now this is kind of fun, guys. Take your left hand to the floor, bend your top left knee, bend the knee, and maybe you'll take your right hand to your top left foot. This is very doable after a while if you can't do it today. And it's very impressive to your friends. Okay. And release your hands. Lift your left leg all the way up, coming into a standing split. Good. Now bend both your knees, both knees bend. And you're going to take your left knee outside your right foot, all the way to the floor. And come to seated. Yeah, good. Now, you're going to hug your right shin and lift up tall. Make sure you're sitting on your right bum too. There's a tendency for the right bum to be lifted. Let's not do that, okay? Sit up tall, nice long spine, shoulder blades down your back, chest lifts. Now you're going to twist to your right. So I like to take my right hand to the left side of my waist and just massage my belly and my ribs over to the right and get a huge deep twist. You can take your left elbow outside your thigh bone, whatever you do, it's all good. But find your edge and find a big full breath here. Lovely. And all the way back to center. Draw your knees to your chest. Round your back. And now we're going to come into a boat pose. So boat pose comes in all kinds of flavors. You guys, for my newer people, this is really great. Cross your ankles, pull the ankles apart. You're going to get right in the core. You can take your arms inside your knees. Take your arms wide. You can bend your elbows and take the elbows out, but hug the thigh bones in. And just take a few breaths here, but keep pulling the ankles apart and squeezing those adductors toward each other. And take a few breaths here. We will be back in core work. Everything is core work though. But just take another breath or two. Good. Now you're at the back of your mat. I want you to cross your shins. You're going to roll forward and make your way back into down dog. Oh yeah. And now you're going to heel toe your feet to your hands. Good. Inhale, circle your arms all the way up. Exhale, palms together to your heart center and release. Right now, I'm just going to turn around so you can see my left side. I'm going to come into Utkatasana, Fierce Warrior. We're going to skip the twist. Unless you want to do more twists, feel free to do so. Step into your right foot and lift your left knee up. And maybe you'll come into a warrior three. Really lifting the belly, the top of the pelvis is back. Just notice where you go. Play in it. This is a really great place to fail, right? And then fail better. And then step your left foot back right into a warrior one. So this is another way of getting into a warrior one, nice and steady. Shoulder blades down your back, heart lifted. Stay low in your hips. Now you're going to pivot to your left foot now that's behind you into warrior two. So now you're at the front of the mat where we started. Shoulder blades down your back. Take your hands behind your back, lift your chest, But now as you dip forward, I want you to draw the low ribs back and the top of the pelvis back, as if there's a beach ball, that you're reaching your ribs and your belly over and come low. Oh yeah. Keep your feet hugging toward each other. Lift your arms up off your back. And then inhale all the way back. Yeah. Take your left forearm to your left thigh, lifting the left ribs, lift them up and roll them forward. If this is the only thing you do here, you did it all after you breathe, that is. And then find a place for your right arm, wherever it goes. Stay low in your hips. Good. Take a breath. Lean back. No rush. Take your right hand to your right hip. Soften your knees as you take your hips back. Now you can start to straighten, lengthen. Imagine you're organically growing your legs from the center of the pelvis right into the earth, but your left ribs are still lifted and there's no weight on your left hand. You can always feel that. Can you take a breath or two here? Oh yeah. Good. Now gaze down. We're going to come back into half moon. So take your left hand to a block or to the floor. Soften your knees. So if you want to use a block, this is really cool too, like I said before. And just find a place for your block forward of your foot. It's harder for you to use a block. Okay, and open it up. Good. Left ribs are still lifting. Imagine you're hugging the thigh bones together. So there's lots of tone in the pelvic floor, the belly. Good, now listen carefully. You're going to take your right hand to the floor if you want. Bend your top right knee. And if you want, maybe you can find the balance to grab your top right foot. It's so ridiculous, but it's fun. Good. And release, enough of that. Lift your right leg all the way up, coming into a standing split. And then bend both your knees. And take your right knee outside your left foot and come to seated. So guys, we started a few minutes late. We're going to end a few minutes late, okay? Because I owe you that. Okay, so sit up tall, plus I want to. Okay, sit up tall. Take your left hand and massage the right belly, the right ribs over to the left so you get a really, truly deep twist if that's what you're looking for. And you can hug your left shin, or you can take your right elbow outside the left thigh bone. Now look to your right. Good. Find your breath. Good. Make your way all the way back to center. Good. Draw your knees to your chest. Give yourself a hug. All right, we're going to do some evil core, guys. This is in honor of the Looney Baker, okay? So you can always come back to this beautiful core work, beautiful. Otherwise, if you want to try with me, come to lying on your back, and you're going to lift your shins so that they're parallel. We call this tabletop. But you have to make sure that the top of your pelvis is tipped back. I want you to make sure you feel a flatness in your back, your low back, okay? Yeah. Now you're going to take your hands to the front of your thigh bones, and you're going to press your thigh bones away from you. Ooh, I want you to go away, but the thigh bones say, no, I'm staying. So the thigh bones press forward, and you feel the engagement in your core right here, and you take some breaths here, and you can stay right here. This is awesome. Now, if you want to go deeper, you extend your right arm over your head, your right leg long, and then you come back. But you keep the pressure between your hands and your thigh bones. So the left always stays engaged. And you inhale. You don't have to do a lot of these because these are pretty bad. Or as one of my colleagues says, it's nasty. So we're going to do 5 more. 5, 4, 3, 2, slow is the way, 1, because now we're going to do the other side, left. Extend. Keep the engagement. Good. Six more. Keep the engagement, the right thigh bone. 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. Oh yeah, draw your knees to your chest. That was so awesome, wasn't it? Good, but before you release everything, I want you to come to roll back and forth on your spine and come to seated. Because I want to do our obliques, okay? We've already engaged them, but I want to twist them. So this time I want you to keep your ankles flexed, your toes bright, and your heels are stuck and you're isometrically drawing them back. Okay, so you're already engaged. And you can take your hands across your chest. You can hold on to your knees. You can take your hands behind you, or you can reach across as you exhale. Exhale, 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 good. 8, 7, 6, 5. You can count with me. 4, 3, 2, last one. Yeah, just to get everything nice and connected. And now we're going to roll all the way back down. Knees to your chest. Make big circles with your knees. Oh, yeah. So good. Take your feet to the floor and take your heels together. But you're going to press your heels together and you're going to widen your knees wide. Just let your knees out. This is a variation of Baddha Konasana. Yeah. Walk your shoulder blades together and down your back. Take an inhale, and as you exhale, you're going to lift your hips, but keep your inner thigh bones wide, your knees wide. So you're not going to land. You're going to lift and lower without landing. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And now we're going to take 8 little pulses up. Just lift, 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 lift. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, hold it. And then slowly, I want you to take your tailbones forward and roll your vertebra, one vertebra at a time, to the earth. Now you're going to step your feet to the earth. Make sure your feet are parallel, shins are parallel, knees are parallel. Walk your shoulder blades together. And as you inhale, you're going to lift your hips into a big, beautiful bridge. You're going to tone the bem. You're going to tone the core and reach your shins forward. And take an inhale, get as far as you can get. And you're going to lower and lift. Lower, exhale, and lift. And again, you're not landing. So we're going to get all the stuff out of there. Releasing your low back. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, hold it, hold it, hold it, hold it high, hold it high. And now slowly lower one vertebra at a time, all the way back to your, oh, now, all right, now draw your knees to your chest. And now I want you to take those circles so that your knees circles away from each other. But stay with that big, beautiful breath, that pranayama, the ujjayi that we've been breathing in through your nose and out through your nose with same length and depth. That's ujjayi. Good. Now take your feet wide. Take your arms to T with your palms up. And I like to walk my shoulder blades down my back. Wrap your knees to the right. Lift your right foot. Identify it. And just take it on top of your left thigh bone. And imagine it's just dead weight on top of the left thigh bone. opening up the whole left outer hip. And take a few breaths here, releasing any anxiety in your nervous system. We should do a lot today. Good. And then all the way back to center. And drop your knees to the left. Lift your left foot, drop it to the right, and then feel like dead weight. And take a few breaths here. Good. And make your way back to center. Take your arms beside you, palms up. Lift your bum. I'm just going to roll your bones away from you. I like to tip my pelvis back once again. I'm just going to roll onto my sacrum. And then inhale through your nose. Exhale through your mouth as you release your legs onto the mat, wide of your mat. And take breath. Watch your breath come in and out in your mind. And allow every muscle in your body to release, to melt into the earth, into corpse pose. Start rolling your wrists and your ankles. Inhale, extend your arms up over your head. Exhale through your mouth. Draw your knees to your chest and roll to your right side. Just be there for a moment. And then make your way to a seat on your mat. And bring your palms together to your heart center with your eyes closed. We do our best, finding our balance between the pleasures of life and maybe too much. We know that we try every day and we fail, but then we're going to fail again, but we're going to fail better. Right? The light in me honors that light in you. Namaste. Mwah. Thanks, guys, for being here. I'm going to turn off the recording and talk to me, guys.